Our thanks to Danny Freeman there. Let's get more now. Darrin Porcher is a former NYPD Lieutenant and an expert in criminal justice. Darrin, good to have you with us. First of all, what did you make of his conduct as he was entering for the hearing in the courthouse today?
Well, hello, Julia. I believe that his behavior was somewhat bizarre, but you have to look at what he's facing. He's looking at life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. This is someone that committed a horrific act against a citizen in the city of New York, which in no way, shape, or form supported being him being the CEO being shot in the body by this vicious assault. So I understand why he's just totally going off the deep end.
I think a lot of people are wondering, and obviously we've got a little bit more understanding now of his medical history, but what takes a 26-year-old man with so much promise, a wealthy, privileged background, an elite education, and makes him into a suspected killer in the manner that we saw last week, Darrin?
I see strong parallels between the suspect in this case and Brian Kohlberger, who was the suspect that allegedly killed the college students in Idaho. Both of them had no criminal background, but it seems as if they were enamored with the aspect of homicide. And when we look at the suspect in this particular case, he seemed as if he was trying to present a public spectacle of police, such as leaving a backpack with Monopoly money. He clearly knew and understood that there was surveillance in the city of New York, and he led a tale for police with the expectation of having his image, but not identifying him, being known to the citizens of the city of New York. So this is, as bizarre as it may seem, this is quite rare, but it does happen.
It's fascinating when you see that, and now we're hearing from friends who are saying that this is just unimaginable from the person that they knew and that was posting in a very usual manner up until the summer of this year on social media about his activities. He apparently suffered from chronic back pain for a long time. He had surgery in 2013. We know that his mother reported him missing because he went dark on friends and family. We're trying to reconcile that person that his family seem to lose, his friends don't recognize, with someone who allegedly committed something so premeditated and organized that arrived in New York City 10 days earlier. I've seen the sort of phrase, a psychiatric break being thrown around. Can you reconcile the organization, the weapon that was used here, the premeditation, with the person that apparently suffered with deep medical issues too, and we don't yet really understand the sort of healthcare consequences behind that, or what he faced and struggled in addition to the pain, apparently?
From a psychiatric perspective, I haven't seen information that was introduced that supported that he was a person that was suffering from a psychiatric breakdown. There was a disconnect between him, his friends, and family on social media, but no medical records support that this was a person that was spiraling out of control mentally. So when we look at the firearm that was used, many people perceived him as being an expert. When they look at the video and they see him in a combat stance, discharging this weapon against the CEO of UnitedHealthcare. But I ultimately believe that this was an amateur because there were too many breadcrumbs left to law enforcement, which inevitably led to the manifestation of an arrest in Pennsylvania. There was too many things that he did wrong that led me to believe that this was a person that was an expert. And with that being said, I think that it's a valiant effort on the McDonald's employee to call up 911, provide a tip, and which allowed and afforded police to take this violent fugitive off the streets.
Darrin, what we can't hide from is some of the positive online reaction that we've seen to this tragic killing, and the idea of some kind of retribution against the US insurance industry being enacted. A book that was referenced on some of the bullets, it's called Delay, Deny, Defend, and it's about the insurance industry, is now #2 on the Amazon bestsellers list. I know Amazon's trying to clear merchandise related to it on their website as well. I'm sort of leaping ahead a long way here, but do you think this could ultimately have implications for a prosecution and potentially an unbiased trial? All you need is one juror potentially that has some sympathy and has faced perhaps similar challenges with what we know is a challenging and a troubled insurance industry in the United States?
Well, Julia, I don't know of one single person that hasn't had a claim denied with medical insurance. So
Right.
he's speaking or amplifying concerns of many Americans. But at the same token, that's no reason to shoot and kill the CEO of U.S. healthcare. Granted, I believe that it's a serious concern that there may be a juror seated that may believe in the fact that the healthcare system is flawed and they do any and everything not to pay people. And so as a result, you can possibly have a juror that's seated that will believe that the actions of the suspect in this case were appropriate. But we as common people need to understand that this was a horrific act, and this horrific act needs to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, because we can't have a series of people that enact violence against healthcare insurance companies based on their inability to pay out a claim.
Yeah, nothing justifies the events that followed. Darrin, good to have you. Thank you. Darrin Porcher there.